At some point, something shifts. You're standing in a room holding a glass you didn't really want, listening to someone explain in great detail how busy they've been. And you feel it. Not anger, not superiority, not bitterness, just exhaustion. Not because they're terrible, not because you hate people, but because something inside you quietly whispers, "I'm too old for this." And that sentence isn't about age, it's about psychological mileage.
Small talk isn't small. It looks harmless. It sounds harmless. It's socially accepted as harmless. But psychologically, it requires performance. You nod at stories you don't care about. You laugh at jokes that barely register. You pretend curiosity about details that don't matter. And when you're younger, you tolerate it easily because you're still building identity, still searching for belonging, still measuring your value through external validation. Small talk is a currency in that world. It keeps you included, visible, socially safe. But after a certain point, the cost outweighs the benefit. As you mature, something interesting happens. Your emotional energy becomes finite in a very real way. Not theoretically finite, not philosophically finite, physically finite. Your nervous system doesn't recover as quickly. Your tolerance for noise drops. Your social battery shrinks. This isn't negativity, it's conservation. You stop spending energy where there's no return, and small talk often offers very little return.
It rarely deepens connection. It rarely challenges you intellectually. It rarely feeds your curiosity. It simply fills silence. And when you've made peace with silence, filling it feels unnecessary. When you're younger, social performance feels natural. You adapt, you charm, you exaggerate, you soften yourself to fit. But aging reduces your tolerance for self-editing. You don't want to exaggerate enthusiasm. You don't want to fake interest. You don't want to pretend you care about office politics or vacation itineraries. And this isn't rudeness, it's alignment. Your external behavior begins matching your internal reality. And small talk thrives on slight misalignment. It depends on politeness over authenticity. When authenticity becomes non-negotiable, small talk feels heavy. Cognitively, something shifts too. Your brain becomes selective. Not weaker, selective. You filter more aggressively. You prioritize meaning over novelty. You prefer depth over surface. So when conversations stay at the surface, weather, traffic, trends, your mind quietly disengages. Not because you think you're better, but because your mind wants substance. It wants perspective, nuance, contradiction, reflection. Small talk rarely offers that. It stays horizontal. You've started craving vertical. There's also something neurological at play. Repeated shallow interaction creates cognitive load. You process faces, tone, micro-expressions, social cues, timing. It's work. And when the content of the interaction isn't meaningful, your brain registers it as inefficient effort. That's when you feel that specific kind of fatigue, the kind where you go home and need silence, not because people are bad, but because your nervous system is overstimulated by nothing. Small talk also demands optimism. How are you? Good. Busy? Great. There's an unspoken rule. Keep it light. But after years of real life, loss, disappointment, health scares, betrayals, aging parents, financial pressure, light feels incomplete. You don't want a trauma dump, but you also don't want to pretend that life is a motivational poster. So you withdraw slightly, because the gap between reality and performance feels uncomfortable, and you're too old to live in that gap for long. There's another quiet truth. You've heard it all before. The same complaints, the same bragging, the same shallow debates. After decades of observing people, patterns become predictable, and predictability reduces stimulation. You no longer feel impressed by titles, or shocked by drama, or fascinated by status. You've seen behind the curtain, and once you see behind it, it's hard to applaud the show.
But being too old for small talk doesn't mean you dislike people. It means you prefer intentional connection, fewer people, longer conversations, real pauses. You want to talk about fear, regret, meaning, change, how someone actually feels, what they learned from something difficult. You don't want volume, you want depth. And depth requires vulnerability. Small talk avoids vulnerability. That's why it feels empty.
Silence changes too. When you're younger, silence feels threatening. It signals awkwardness, rejection, social failure. As you age, silence becomes neutral, sometimes even comforting. You can sit with someone and not fill every second. You can walk without narrating it. You can share space without performing. And when silence feels safe, small talk becomes optional, not mandatory.
There is, of course, a cost. When you reduce small talk, you may seem distant, serious, uninterested, intimidating. Because most social systems run on superficial interaction, you're expected to participate, and when you don't, people notice. But something else has changed in you. You're less afraid of being misunderstood. You'd rather be seen as quiet than feel internally drained. And that's a trade you're finally willing to make.
This isn't arrogance. It's alignment. You don't reject small talk because you're superior. You reject it because your energy is more valuable now. Time feels shorter. Attention feels precious. And pretending feels expensive. When you're younger, small talk helps you build identity. It maps hierarchies, signals belonging, seeks approval. But once your identity stabilizes, you don't need constant micro-validation. You're less interested in being liked by everyone. You're more interested in being understood by a few. And those are very different goals.
The irony is this. The less you engage in small talk, the more meaningful your interactions become. Because when you do speak, it's intentional. When you ask a question, it matters. When you share something, it's real. People may talk to you less, but when they do, it's deeper. And that's enough. Being too old for small talk isn't withdrawal, it's refinement. It's psychological economy. It's emotional alignment. It's finally understanding that depth is rare and worth waiting for. And sometimes the most mature thing you can say in a crowded room is nothing at all.